YouTube, it's your girl 1 in a million, and I'm back with another video, a different type of video, because I had to get something off my chest today. Usually, lately on my lives, I just talk about God, what He's done for me, my understanding of my newfound relationship with God. But I had to get into this worldly stuff real quick because this is just ridiculous. So, if you guys don't know, Blueface has leaked his first baby mother's Jaidyn's sex tape. And that is the worst thing you can do as a man. And it's disgusting. It's deplorable. And at this point, I agree with Clipchamp Rock. Blueface needs to go back to jail. Okay, so let's just break this down real quick. So Jaidyn has been hanging with Kai Band, a rapper from LA. I don't know if he's actually from LA or he might just be living in LA. And she has been streaming with him, and it seems like they've had a really good connection lately. And her bitter baby daddy, Blueface, Tender Man, I'm gonna start calling him Tenderface because that man is just ugh. He has been very upset about it. They saw him at the club. Kai Bands and Jaidyn was in the club one day, and Blueface, I don't know if he stalked them at the club. I don't know if he just happened to be at the club at the same time. I don't really know the 100% circumstances behind that. But he was at the club while Jaidyn and Kai was at the club. And reportedly people say that they saw Blueface trying to go to where Kai Bands and Jaidyn's section was at. She wouldn't go. And they had to stop him from going there. I turned him around. Also, when Kai Band and Jaidyn's were having their streams, Blueface was seen calling and she would not answer. And you can tell Blueface's chest was just caving in. He was hyperventilating. He could not breathe. He needed milk and an asthma pump, right? And so Jaidyn has been living her best life, just trying to really separate herself from him. And here goes that weird Tender Man Blueface going on stream with Ray J. And it's a sad case when Ray J has to try to talk some sense into you about your baby mother. But Blueface just kept trying to dog out Jaidyn. And I've never seen a man who hates women so much. And I have to say this. If a man does not like his mother, I'm going to say it one more time. If a man does not like his mother, he subsequently hates women. I'm just going to let it just say it. And that's what we see with Blueface. Blueface has a terrible relationship with his mom. I don't know what Carlissa did to him to make him so angry, to make him so bitter with women. But Blueface has a disdain for anyone who has the double X chromosomes. He does not like women. He will go out his way to disrespect them, to destroy them anytime he feels hurt. And I used to really like Blueface, maybe because I'm a Cali girl and I just understood the Cali mindset of a man. A lot of men they just have that mindset in Cali. I don't know. And I thought he was funny. It would be funny to watch him bleed a bitch. I ain't gonna even lie. I'm not gonna lie. Yes, I'm holy. Yes, I'm godly. But I can get in the fuckery too sometimes. But this was just too much. I'm not going to lie. It's been too much. Even with him and Nevaeh, it's been too much. When you see how he treats Nevaeh, I'm not going to say I don't feel bad for Nevaeh because I think it's really, truly weird when women say that. I don't feel bad for her. I'm like, and let's not act like you haven't been in a stupid relationship either. I really wish women would get off their high horse. Just because it's not you at this moment, just because you're not the one being filled, let's not have a little bit of common decency and just try to be more understanding. Because especially when you're in your 20s, you're going to be in some dumb relationships with men because you don't know better. And especially if you don't have a group of women who are older than you who can teach you better. And obviously, even though some of these women have mothers, their mothers are not giving them the game. They do not have fathers who can step in. Or if they do have fathers, their fathers are playing a real passive role in their lives. I just wish we would, as women, stop acting like oh, I don't feel bad for her because I'm not. I had to check myself with that, with the whole Nevaeh thing, because she would come on here and act, her behavior online would be so distasteful. It was actually funny when he bled her ass, but I had to check myself and say, you know, I've made dumb decisions in relationships. Now, just because I don't have children by men, just because my stuff wasn't on video, doesn't mean I have not made some dumb decisions when it comes to dudes. I have. Just because they don't look like hers, just because they're not displayed, doesn't mean I haven't made some dumb decisions. I've made some dumb decisions. And I would feel very stupid to say, oh, well, she's dumb, knowing damn well I've made some dumb decisions too when it comes to a man. So let's get that out the way, right? It stopped being funny with Blueface and Nevaeh when Blueface, after she outed that he might have had a STD allegedly. We don't really know. I say that because in the stream him and Nevaeh was doing, Nevaeh had said that, oh, well, I came back clean, so I don't know the circumstances. And she did that on purpose, in my opinion, because she was tired of his crap. Because she knew what she was doing. She knew exactly what she was doing when she put that on his stream. So she said that purposely, in my opinion. And when she did that, Blueface started having a little tantrum, right? And when he tried to throw the trash on the ground that she had picked up in the bathroom, for some reason that was like the straw on the camel's back for me. I was like, this isn't funny anymore. You know, him calling her bitches and him like just outright disrespecting her. For some reason, that was like, to me. But when he was about to grab the trash bag and throw it all over the ground, and she had to physically grab it and told him not to do that, that let me know right then and there, like, he hates her. This isn't funny for me anymore. But I'm going to say this, guys. I think the reason why Blueface hates women so much is because of his mother, Carlissa. He hates women because of her. I don't know what he did to her. Well, I don't know what she did to him to make him have so much disdain for women. I remember I first heard the word loathe when I read The Diary of Anne Frank. Blueface loathes women. Okay? And I also think, in my opinion, it could be false, but in my opinion, I think he's down low. Because he did an interview with Jason Lee, and he had a Freudian slip where he said, openly gay people don't make DL people don't make us. He said us. If I can find a clip, I'll play it back for y'all. He said, you don't make us feel very comfortable with coming out.
To like come out and be gay, right? But at the same time, you guys will condemn a gay person for being maybe undercover or low-key or whatever the case may be. Yeah, down low.
I don't do that.
And then it's like, okay, you're not making us feel comfortable.
It's also been said that Blueface might have gone through some type of trauma while he was in prison. While he was in the prison, it's said that he might have gone through some type of trauma from another man while he was in prison. And I personally think whatever demons jumped on him while he was in prison, he came out and he's just been living, pushing that agenda, and that entity is just living through him in this world now. Like, that's what I personally think. And I think Carlissa is the reason why she feels the need to overcompensate by always making excuses for him, because she knows at one point she was a terrible parent. Just because the food's in the house, you got a roof over their heads, you got food on the table, does not mean you were a good parent. You gave them the basic necessity as you should as a parent. You chose to have these kids. But I also believe maybe she was mean to them. Maybe he lost respect for her because he kept seeing men in their lives for whatever reason. I don't know. Maybe she wasn't there as much as she'd like to think she was there. Maybe she didn't speak to them as kindly as they should have, because a child will treat his parent how they treated them when they were younger. Let me say it again for the people in the back who don't understand me or that went over your head. A child will treat their parent the same way that parent treated the child when they were younger. So yes, Blueface's action towards his mother is deplorable, but there's a reason why he acts that way. I'm not condoning it because I think it's disgusting, but I also feel like at certain points, Carlissa has shown that she was a terrible parent to her kids, whether or not she had food on the table and there was a roof over their heads. Just a quick side bar. Look how she did Callie when everything had blew up with Callie, Blueface, and Krishan. And Callie had went to Blueface's house to defend her because Krishan had beat her butt. Callie went on this here internet, not Callie, Carlissa went on this here internet and had stated had made fun, you lost your husband, you lost your dad. Carlissa was terrible. And people want to forget, or Carlissa hopes we forget, how she did her only daughter. After her daughter came to Blueface's house, ended up losing her husband because her husband got jumped, ended up getting her ass beat to defend Carlissa. And Carlissa had the nerve to come on this here internet and taunt Callie because she lost her husband. If I was Callie Way, I would never speak to my mother, my brother ever again in life. I don't care. I would never speak to them ever again in life. Ever. God's still working on me to forgive. I ask God every day to fix my heart posture. But I promise you, there's just some stuff I will not ever allow. I couldn't allow. But that's that sidebar. So I use that as an example to show that Carlissa probably was a mean, nasty mom who would say terrible things. And obviously Blueface is a hurt little boy. Blueface obviously is a sensitive guy. He tries to act like he's not sensitive. No, he's obviously a very sensitive guy. And when his feelings get hurt, he just lashes out. It's obvious what happens. He lashes out when his feelings get hurt because he doesn't know how to properly communicate. Because obviously his own father didn't teach him how to handle his emotions as a man. And his father can't really tell him nothing now because how can your father tell you anything if you living with him? If the father's living with the son in the big mansion, how? How can the father tell you anything when your father's living with you under your roof? He can't really. Because he's not going to really respect him because Blueface is the type of man, the type of young boy, the type of little boy trapped in a big man's body that only respects the money. And it's sad because Blue really needs to give his life to God. I know Carlissa likes to say he was baptized, but he was baptized and he was in the church and everything like that. I don't know if she says in the church, but she does say he was baptized. Blueface has turned his back on God, and you can see it as clear as day. It is as clear as day. Blueface turned his back on God, and God don't live nowhere near anything near Blueface. And Blueface needs to give his life to God so he can understand that money is not what he should be worshiping. He should not be worshiping the mighty dollar because God's taking it all away from him. That's why he's in debt. That's why his home's in mortgage. Yeah, you are buying another house. But best believe God will take that house away too, Pookie Butts. You will do something that will allow God to allow the devil to come in your life and and run amok in it. Because you've already let the devil in your life and run amok in it. And God's been saving your butt countless amount of times. But he's going to allow you to go through some terrible things because you want to be disobedient to his word. I'm sorry I had to take y'all to church real quick, but when you continuously be disobedient to God's word, he will let things happen to you. God asks for obedience of his word. Hold his commandments. All right, y'all, I just had to say that real quick because, a lot of people think that just because someone has money and has fortune and fame, they're doing good, when at the end of the day, you are a slave to this world and you have made an idol of money. And God is a jealous God. He doesn't want you to make anything else an idol. You go to him and seek answers. You go to him. You only put God first. When you start putting money in these worldly things first, or watch God take that away. And now you sit here scrambling trying to figure out who you are, what your worth is. But I'm done. That's my little God rant for a little bit, because I'm always going to bring it back to God. Sure am. But what I will say is this. Blueface is a hurt little boy. When a hurt little boy acts up, what do they get upset? What do? They throw tantrums. Blueface is almost 6 foot, so he can't throw tantrums because it wouldn't look the same. So what does he do? He does things to destroy people because he's hurt. He wants you to feel just as low as he feels. If I was Jaidyn, I would definitely put him on child support. You got all that money, you able to buy Louis V bags. I will get an attorney and sue. Report it to his probation officer. And I would file criminal charges. I hit him on the 3 fronts. I would sue. I need a civil lawsuit for damages now, for embarrassing me, pain and suffering, for putting out my personal business out there like that. I would go criminal. I would file criminal charges for revenge, for you doing revenge porn on me. I would report it to your probation officer. Yeah, I'm hitting you on all 3 fronts. And then I would also get a protective order against him. Because obviously I feel unsafe with this man. Every time I try to leave this man in the house, he just posted something in my house. I would flip it to say he posted something in my house, posted a video in my house. I didn't let that man in my house. He keeps trying to come in. He keeps coming in my house. I don't feel safe with him there. I need a protective order against him. I get a restraining order. And then I'd ask for full custody of the kids, and I'd get child support. And then I would also request for when he comes pick up these kids, he can only pick them up, or he can only have the kids at his mother's house. Period. And you know what I'd do? I'd probably move out of state. I would move out the state of California and probably move somewhere else where my mom's at if I was Jaidyn, to get away from his family. I hope Jaidyn plays this smart and does what's best for her, because everyone else is doing what's best for them. And Jaidyn has to realize that it doesn't matter how good a relationship we have with Carlissa. That's still his mama at the end of the day. And they mamas are going to coddle their boys, especially if you knew you was a terrible parent. She going to coddle that boy because she knows she did him wrong. She knows she did him wrong. So that's all I have to say, you guys. Blueface is a hurt little boy, and hurt people hurt people. And I think it's disgusting that what he did with Jaidyn. I think that the biggest thing we should be looking at is not that Jaidyn did it, because she's actually a grown woman who can do whatever the heck she wants to. But look at the fact that that disgusting man chose to leak her sex tape, which is revenge porn, and is actually an offense, a criminal offense in the state of California. That's disgusting. And it should be treated as such. I think it's, I guess how the way Jaidyn is handling it, trying to handle the story, not trying to run away from it, but handle it just going forward with it and just head on. That could be admired. But at the end of the day, you need to handle the shit on the back end too, Bookie Butts. You need to handle it on the back end too. He needs to go to prison. It's time for Blueface to go back to jail. I was never one to say Blueface need to go back to jail. I was sad when he went to jail. But now Blueface needs to go back to prison, as Voodoo Doll like to say, prison, for how he's acting. He has came out and just been a complete terror to every woman in his life. And it's disgusting. He needs to go back to prison and deal with those booty bandits. All right, y'all, I'm out. It's your girl, 1 in a million. Keep God in your life. Put God first. I'm out of here.